Isn't it clear? They're destroying the dollar with their own hands.
Oh, he's at it again, old bad boy Putin. Death to the dollar!
The dollar enjoyed great trust around the world. For some reason, the US began to use dollar settlements as a tool for political struggle. They began to bite the hand that feeds them. They'll collapse.
Well, you know, it's pretty standard rhetoric from Vlad at the annual Brics summits. He does tend to go on a bit about the impending death of the US dollar. But he's probably right. And he certainly wasn't alone at November's 2019 Brics Forum. This was in Brasilia.
The unstoppable rise of emerging markets and developing countries has provided a strong impetus for the reform of the global system of economic governance. Nevertheless, there are also causes for concern: rising protectionism and unilateralism, a greater deficit of governance, development and trust, and an increase in uncertainty and destabilizing factors in the world economy.
And that's a worrying prospect. You see, the BRICS, that is Brazil, Russia, India, China, more recently now, of course, South Africa, all these guys, they make up 40% of the world's population. That is well over 20% of the world's GDP. So, you know, they need to look out for each other. On the one hand, you've got a global economy on the brink, and on the other,
these countries have decided we're not going to be subjected to sanctions anytime the West, or specifically the United States, wants to punish us. And the only way to do that is to break their dependency on the global system and the dollar as the world's reserve currency.
And they've been working on it now since, 2014, setting up a $100 billion new development bank for loans in, get this, national currencies. And now their new international payment system designed for the sole purpose of bypassing the US dollar-based SWIFT system. Because, you know, at the end of the day, the greenback has been weaponized.
The wide use of unfair competition practices, unilateral sanctions, including ones imposed for political reasons, and protectionist policies in world trade, undoubtedly affected the global economy.
And the BRICS, among many others, well, they're tired of it.
One thing that the U.S. is doing a very poor job of right now is recognizing that it's not just Russia or just China, but there are 5 major nations and dozens of smaller nations that are very excited about the idea of no longer being under U.S. dominance when it comes to currency.
So what are the alternatives to the dollar?
I think the ruble can be an additional means of payment between our countries.
Yes, of course. But really, he's serious.
I would like to suggest that we increase the share of project funding in BRICS national currencies. Not only would it increase the value of our currencies, it would let us avoid unnecessary risks.
And where's China in all of this?
China's making their big move for the 21st century. They're going to pull the trapdoor. They're also, as has been reported by the media, rolling out a cryptocurrency. I can tell you that cryptocurrency China's rolling out will be backed by gold.
Ah, gold. Well, you know, the BRICS are obsessed with it. And no one's been buying more gold for the past few years than Russia. And nobody frankly knows how much gold China really has. So what does this all mean? It means the tide has already turned.
Look what's going on in the economy. Look at the numbers. This year, BRICS has outrun the G7 countries in terms of GDP and purchasing power parity. Is there anybody who doesn't see this? This is a real significant factor in world affairs, and it will increase.